as Doom 2.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a very good game, actually. It's, in my opinion, not as good as Doom 1, and simultaneously, in some ways, better than Doom 1, which is a weird statement to make, but...
Hot takes.
It is true, in my opinion. I feel like the level design overall in Doom 1 is a lot stronger, but the addition of new enemies and the Super Shotgun make this game much more fun to play.
This song sounds like a Dead Kennedy song.
This song is... I can no longer hear this song because I've heard it so many times. It just... My ears have grown numb to the sound of Map 01. It's a great song, but I've heard it probably several thousand times.
Why have you heard it that many times? Just because you played this level that many times?
I played this level a lot whenever I replay Doom 2. I mean, this is the most played level when I replay Doom 2. Like, if I have to check to make sure that it's working or whatever for recording, I just load up the first level. So, not from personal experience, but I will say that famously, right, like, you know, Doom is a very mod-heavy game in its experience, so when people would make custom levels, typically they would just replace the first level, and if they don't know how to replace the sound, it'll just play this song. So, there was an era of, you know, people making single maps, and you just hear this song a lot because of that. I say you, me, not personally, but like, you know, the royal you, people that were into the modding scene at the time.
The royal we, man. All I know is that to stick with the trope, myhouse.wad uses it also.
Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? It's meant to be something, something, Doom, something, something. Nostalgia, right?
House of Doom.
Yeah, so it's meant to be like a meta commentary. By the way, I've not played My House. I have not watched a single video on it, but just based on the what do you call it, osmosis that I am around, I will attempt to explain the thesis statement of it in the best way that I can. I believe that myhouse.wad is about the deconstruction of nostalgia. It conjures to mind both having to, like, the desire to recreate your childhood home in a game as a way to relive it, as well as a game that you played as a child, to be this sort of ultimate nostalgia bait, but then it, you know, inverts this by, like, making it dark and weird and inexplicable. How did I do?
That's a good take. I give that my seal of validation, but okay. I don't know if I place it upon the pedestal of, yes, that is definitely it.
Well, that's fair. I'm assuming you haven't played it either.
No, I haven't played it, but I've watched way too many videos on it.
That's fair. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on what people are trying to do with art.
As do most critics.
Yeah.
Which isn't a dig, it just is.
No, it is the truth. That's why oh my god. I don't know what happened. There's like a weird sound thing that just happened. I don't mean to get off topic, but I don't know how to fix that kind of thing when that audio comes up. It just sounds terrible. I don't know why it comes up. Anyways. Yeah, I feel like art criticism is is a pastime that I will always. It is my calling in life. It's not something that I necessarily feel adds value to the world per se, but it is what I am good at.
I think myhouse.wad is a story that is tragic, but it is a story about grief, but it is also a story about getting to the next stage after initial grief.
Would you classify this grief as something literal within the plot of it, or would you call this grief, even if it is literal, would you call it metaphorical as the grieving of childhood being over?
No, I think that can be read into it for sure, but it I think I'm catching what you're farting. But that part is like a smaller segment of it, but it's still there. It's still validating. It's just that the story begins with someone saying, "This is a map that I'm trying to finish after my friend and I started it, but then my friend died," and then the story ends. Well, the story ends in multiple ways, so it requires replaying. But the best ending has the implication of being able to move on. But the childhood part involves like that scene where you wind up in a kindergarten.
But is your friend real, or is it just a storytelling device that the author is using to represent having to move on from their childhood?
Oh, okay. So you're removing the fiction aspect entirely and going right to the
generally
to the
I
point.
am.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What I'm getting at is, how important is the story of myhouse.wad to the experience of myhouse.wad?
You gonna say that again?
How important is the story to the experience?
I see what you mean. That's hard, because I've seen people play through myhouse.wad and be like, dang, that was spooky, but I beat the level, even though they only played through like 5 minutes of it, when there's actually like several hours worth of stuff in there. Clearly House of Leaves is a big influence on it. So I think that the experience doesn't so much matter to itself, because I don't think I can actually answer that, because I don't know what the story's intentions are. It's not sentient, and I don't know what the author's intentions are, because I don't know the author. But
that's fair, I guess.
I guess I'm taking the David Lynch approach, where it's just like, he would say, here's the Doom level I made, and then someone would say, but what's it actually about? And then he would just be like, well, you have to play it. And so,
I agree with that, but I am also sort of on the like, authorial intent matters for sure in terms of storytelling, but I am also in the death of the author perspective of, like, whatever takeaway the audience gets is valid and valuable. I guess to break it down further, I just mean to say that, like, there has to be some kind of point, and is the point that I am going to discover out of a story, it's a collaborative effort between the author and the audience. Am I going to get more of myself out of it, or am I going to get more of the author out of it? And I mean, I won't know until I play, obviously. It's not a question that can be answered by anybody else, but
yeah,
it's just one of those things that I think about with indie darling art like myhouse.wad, which is that it tends to be very not in a critical sense, very ego-driven. It tends to be very based on the perspective of the person who's making it. which I guess is true of all art to some degree, but in the particular case of indie darling art, it tends to be like really sometimes frustratingly on the nose.
Yeah,
I like criticizing art that I haven't experienced. It's fun.
You and lots of other people. But I mean, because it's true. I guess I've experienced it, but I also haven't because I haven't played it. Like,
right.
I don't know if I'm experienced it second or third hand. I don't know how that works, but
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like this question or this conversation keeps widening, where it's just like, but does art have to have a point? I mean, I feel like it kind of does, because there has to be some kind of inspiration, or there has to be some kind of catalyst. Like, even if you're not inspired, maybe you're taking a class, and so you have to create art even if you're not inspired. So
I'll say it in so many words. I do think all art has intention behind it.
Yeah.
Whether or not that intention is I was gonna say intentional, and I realize how ridiculous that sounds, but I think
redundancy.
What I mean to say with that is that I think that art intention is possibly the wrong word to use. Mm-hmm. Art always has meaning, and because of that, we want to ascribe intentionality to it, but I think that in a sort of recursive way, it does mean that there's always intentionality, because like I said before, whether the author has intention or not, the audience does by viewing it. And that intentionality is like a partial requirement of, considering it intentional. If I intend to view something, then that's intentionality in art.
Like as a viewer or an audience member, you mean?
Yeah. If I view something incidentally, then you could make an argument. If art is both made incidentally and viewed incidentally, I think there's an argument that it could be made completely without intention.
Okay.
But I think in the case of, again, the example you use of I have to make something for a class, and I might not have, meaning in mind when I do it. Mm-hmm. The person who is grading your art has to view it with some intentionality, which gives it intention. Is my perspective... Does this make sense?
No, it makes sense. It's just, okay. I feel like...
It might be disagreeable.
I feel like you're pointing a mirror at another mirror, and then at another mirror, and then at another mirror, trying to get to the core of your own argument. And I think I see what you're saying. It's just like... It's weird, right? Because you're like, yes, myhouse.wad, it has intent. And then you explain intent in a way that is just as dense as myhouse.wad itself. Yeah. While equally trying to more simplify myhouse.wad.
I don't
least
necessarily
break it down into a sentence.
Yeah. Breaking it down is a better way to put it, but I also... It's less about simplifying and more about finding the soul of something. I think when I talk about intentionality in art, what I'm really talking about is the soul of it. And like you said, there's art that's made without soul, and that's real. We see it all the time. It's made to turn a profit usually, but that in its own way isn't soulless. It's soulless from like a definitional how we use words kind of way, but like it does have a soul. It's just a soul of greed.
Yeah.
So like it's still made with some intention. It's just like not about the art itself. It's about what the art can do for the author or whatever, the producers or publishers. I don't know. You're right. I mean, I do have this propensity to, endlessly argue a point that doesn't matter.
See? You did it. You've experienced myhouse.wad.
Yeah. Without even having to play it.
Without even having to play, you've looked deep within yourself. Or whatever, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I mean, is that, like, you have to look within yourself, but it's also, like, the human experience. We're all connected, right? So, by you looking deep within yourself and making art, it forces me to look deep within myself, which completes the circle of whatever.
Circle of life.
Yeah, circle of...
If I watch videos on myhouse.wad and you examine myhouse.wad from a completely, like, mostly ignorant perspective, at least about the source material, but not so much ignorant about anything else, together we create the Lion King.
It's kind of true.
That's what we take away from it.
Together we create a facsimile experience that is similar to myhouse.wad. I assume. It has to be. I play this level all wrong. To get back to the gameplay for a second, I don't kill these chain gunners first. I go through the portal and I lose so much health because of it. I don't know why my brain did not remember how to play Doom 2. It's gonna come up a lot in this video. Like, typically, I would say I'm generally pretty good at Doom 2. I know what I'm doing, I know how to play it, but for some reason, the recording that I actually got, I'm just, like, bad. And then every time I have to run around the map to get health, I just speed it up, because nobody wants to see this shit.
Well, the reason you can't remember is because you're trying to get back to nostalgia, which is exactly what my house critiques.
You're so true.
It's so true. Have you heard of Pangria?
Do you believe in myhouse.wad?
All the houses and shit.
And then Archvile happens.
And he's like charcoal black for some reason.
Speaking of, we're recording this back to back with the last Doom 2016 video. I said there was a new Doom game announced, and that's true. There's also
like the WAD or the whole level.
Like that's funny. That's deep when you think about it.
Oh shit. myhouse.pangria.
Pangria.wad.
Pangria.wad. Hell yeah, dude. Oh god.
But I was gonna say, speaking of mods, although it's funny, myhouse.wad is not compatible with this. There was another I don't know what to call it, re-release of Doom, the classic Doom, that happened. If you own the previous Bethesda re-release of Doom, it's literally just free, like it auto updates to the new version. But like the last port that they made, it was like a Unity wrapper, and it had some weirdness about it, but it was generally pretty good. They had like mod support built in, kind of. They did another re-release, this time with Night Dive Studio. They're using their proprietary Kex engine. Anyways, it's a good port. It has online multiplayer built in. It has like a bunch of cool features, including mod support. Now, it doesn't support myhouse because that requires like specific GZ Doom functionality, but it does support like Romero's Sigil and like a bunch of other like classic WADs, master levels, Plutonia, TNT, all that stuff. Anyways, there's a new Doom in town, same as the old Doom.
Oh, are you talking about the Doom 1+2 thing? Okay.
Yep. I forgot. I don't know what to call it besides a port. I mean, that's all it really is. But yeah, it has multiplayer, online multiplayer, and split screen multiplayer.
Oh my god, we can actually do it.
We could actually play co-op if we wanted to.
Well, without having to jump through the loopholes of
without having to jump through all
chocolate
sorts of
doom
weird
or whatever. That's pretty sick.
I mean, I'm still gonna be playing the rest of this in Crispy Doom because I'm a purist, kind of, not really. There's definitely features. Listen, I'm not gonna make any friends with statements like these. I realize that, but I have to be true to myself. I like it when Doom looks like shit, kind of. It's better. I like it when the diminished lighting is, like, weirdly chunky. I like it when the resolution is low and things are all pixely and, like, ceiling tiles and, like, wall tiles get that, like, weird warping because of the low resolution. Like, it's how God intended me to play Doom, so I'm just gonna lean in. Also, free looking with the mouse is unacceptable. Playing with the mouse is fine, like, but just please no up and down. Like, it's not how God intended it. We don't do that here. Not in my house, buddy. Not in myhouse.wad, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
I exclusively play this game keyboard only because I'm a freak, but you know.
Well, I mean, it's totally playable that way.
I accept people that use the mouse, but I do not accept the free look up and down people, okay? I understand they're like, it's more convenient. I want to be able to aim. Bro, the game aims for you. It's called auto-aim, okay?
You don't need Brutal Doom.
You really don't for many reasons.
I believe we've been over this before.
We have been over this. And I also... I'm not... Listen, again, I do want to walk it back mildly in the sense that if you enjoy Brutal Doom and that's the way you like to play Doom, that's fine. Listen, live life however you want to live it. I'm not here to yuck your yum or whatever the kids are saying now. I'm just here to vibe. Okay?
I believe what you're trying to say is skibbity riz?
Yes, you know. This game is very skibbity.
I don't know what any of that means. I'm fucking decrepit.
Nobody does.
Not even the skibbities.
No, they really don't know what it means.
The day the skibbities stole Christmas.
And yet it's got, you know, millions of views and it's inexplicable. It's just, you know, it's just Gen Z humor, man. I don't know, man.
Hell yeah. I mean, Mr. Beast is around. Everything is okay, right?
You think Mr. Beast has ever played Doom?
I don't know if Mr. Beast has actually done anything.
I don't know if Mr. Beast is real.
I don't know. He might be like some super, like, souped up AI or something, for all I know.
Yeah, I think he is just like a simulation.
The strange inventions or games he comes up with all seem very AI generated.
It does.
If we want to get into inauthenticity, we can research Mr. Beast.
Yes. Are Mr. Beast videos considered art?
I mean, he probably does not intend them as art.
No.
He seems like the kind of guy who would be like, I'm visiting the art studio today on his YouTube channel, and then he goes to the art studio and sets up a bunch of challenges for himself or other people, and it's just not artistic at all. It's just, everything's just a game. Everything's a challenge. Everything's there to create some sort of progress, to emulate your success.
Yes, it's all, exactly, it's all, like, profit / merit oriented.
I can't wait for Mr. Beast to run for president.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen in 30 years.
Yeah.
The most skibbity campaign.
Mr. Beast is he's running for the Riz party. Uh-oh.
I know, I'm bad at this game. Oh, can I do it? Oh.
Whoa,
Can I make the jump? Oh. I made the jump.
Oh, shit.
On the platform.
You made the jump to light speed.
I think... I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've made that. I don't want to say made that jump legitimately. I have made that jump legitimately a lot. I just don't remember if it needs to be while the platform is raising, and that's why I'm bad at it, or if you can make it while the platform is at its maximum height. I don't remember. It's just annoying because there's so many specters in that pit. It's like impossible to make.
You have the perfect amount of health.
Yeah. This is also, oh, there's a Revenant.
Oh,
this
shit.
is also... I have this way of playing where I, like, barely use the super shotgun, and yet again, playing the game incorrectly. I'm using the super shotgun all wrong. I'm using it to kill, like, single shotgun dudes. Like, waste of ammo. And I'm picking up ammo when I'm near the cap.
You gotta spend ammo to make ammo.
That's so true.
That's what myhouse.wad is about. MrBeast.wad.
MrBeast.wad. There's a lot of good, you know, custom wads out there. Truck.wad. That's a good one.
Do you think Mr. Beast has released any phone apps? Like games?
100%, yes. I don't even know, but there's no way he's not involved in doing that. He has to be. There's a Doom branded phone game. I don't remember what it's called. I'm gonna
Isn't
look it
that
up
Doom
really quick.
RPG?
Well, that was Doom RPG was a phone game, yes. But I don't know that Doom RPG is still around anymore. It's called Mighty Doom.
The hell does that even mean? Oh, shit.
It's a top-down roguelike phone game where you have to spend your money to win.
It's very Mr. Beast.
It's very Mr. Beast.
It's just about any business model.
Yep. Anyways, yeah. I crushed the spider mastermind to death with the crusher.
Finally got Spider-Man.
Yeah. I'm going Green Goblin mode.
Wearing your onesie.
Yeah.
Going Doom Guy mode. Would you get a Doom Guy onesie?
Probably not. I don't wear onesies, so... No. But, you know...
Oh.
I would get other Doom branded merch, theoretically. I had a Doom shirt, but unfortunately, it got a giant hole in it, so I can't wear it anymore.
Damn.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
I could buy another one, but it's not the same, because the one that I bought was the Bethesda store one from, like, 2016. That was, like, brown. And it's a really nice color. And all the ones that I can find now are, like, black with, like, the box art in, like, an outline. And that's fine. It just doesn't look as cool.
Yeah.
I do want to get the John Romero Cool Guys at the Beach tank top, though. Because that's classic. And I do like wearing tank tops in the summer.
Classic Doom.
That's classic Doom right there.
Tank top Doom.
Tank top Doom. That's how God intended me to play Doom.
Wearing a Doom tank top.
Wearing a Doom tank top. in a hot room that smells like BO. while a old television show from the 90s plays in the background.
Are you referring to Golden Girls?
No, I'm not really referring to anything specifically. I'm just painting a picture of what I wish my life were like.
God, I wish that were me.
Exactly. Living
the dream, playing Doom in a tank top that is a Doom tank top while the 90s, while Golden Girls plays in the back.
I don't even know that it would be Golden Girls per se. I mean, Golden Girls would be fine. It just, I don't know. Maybe King of the Hill. That feels very Doom-coded to me.
King of the Hill.wad.
Yes, dude, yes. Now you're cooking.
This propane ain't gonna light itself. Hill guy.
That episode where Hank Hill has a nightmare and he envisions himself in hell, I think that's what's giving me the Doom vibes.
I remember the one where he plays Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it's a pretty dumb episode.
That's a pretty bad episode.
King of the Hill gets really bad in its later seasons.
Yeah.
It starts out as like weird, Mike Judge, Beavis and Butthead era kind of like satire of conservative America, and then it enters its golden age when it both satirizes and celebrates its own legacy, and then like season 2 to 5 is like peak King of the Hill. Back when they cared about stuff like continuity.
That's my BFG, I don't know you.
See, the problem with that was that I coughed while laughing, so it's like, do I cut it out because I coughed, or do I leave it in because I laughed? Now I have to leave it in because I talked about it.
You claffed.
I clapped.
The sound of one mouth clapping.
Clapping my cheeks.
Yep. Spit on my feet. Clap in my cheeks.
This song has like the MIDI like theremin sound to it.
Theremin?
I think, yeah, it's like that instrument that you don't play with your you play it by not touching it, and it goes like ooh,
yeah,
ooh. Yeah.
Very 50s alien stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
UFOs and shit. Pangria.
Not today, motherfucker. That's what Mulder should have done.
Videos to watch to get you amped up for Doom.
A good 90s show to play Doom to is X-Files. That's probably peak.
Especially the weird cyber hack episodes.
Yeah.
The later episodes that are terrible that have the lone gunman in them.
Yeah. We have, in the classic Doom levels, already talked about the two William Gibson episodes. The weird Matrix in an RV episode, and then the first-person shooter episode, which...
I'm not surprised we've talked about that already on the show.
They're two of my least favorite X-Files episodes. I've already mentioned it before. I called William Gibson that dude that wrote Neuromancer, and I stand by that assessment of his character. I don't know that he's really famous for anything else, nor should he be, really.
William Gibson Les Paul.
This is not a criticism, I'm just saying. Sometimes you have to live up to your legacy. I know shit's about to pop off, I'm just getting ready.
Here we go. This feels like a Doom 2016 arena.
It does. I'm shocked that this was never, referenced in like Doom 2016. This feels very much like that. You're right. There is something I don't know. So I know a lot about Doom 1 level credits. I don't know nearly as much about Doom 2 level credits. I know obviously Sandy Peterson still did a lot of work, and I know that he did. Mostly what I know about is like his work on some of the city levels. But like for instance, I don't know who made this map, but it's definitely not John Romero. John Romero had very few level credits in this game, and also he would never make a symmetrical arena like that. There's story in this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
This checkerboard pattern looks weird.
Metal grates or something. Metal plates penetrate into the haunted heart. Writing is my passion.
Wow, there's one button holding the Earth's population hostage.
Yep.
Thank goodness it's just one, you might have a chance. Good thing demons are like really bad strategists.
Yeah.
They're like Phantom Menace strategists.
It's dead simple. This is probably, I mean, besides Map 01, this is like probably the most famous Doom 2 map.
What makes it so famous?
It's just like classic. I don't know. It's an interesting map in that it's one of the only maps that has a kill trigger. You can't just set kill triggers in the base game. Like, it has to be coded into the level. So this level has it specifically tagged so that when you kill all the Macubi that are in this area, it will open some doors around the outside of the arena, which will let the Arachnotrons in. And then after you kill the Arachnotrons, it raises some stairs that lead you to the end of the level. It's just a classic level because it's, I mean, in the name, it's dead simple. All you have to do is kill the bad guys. And it's just like a big arena fight.
Doom 2's really going for the arena fights. Less run and gun, get to the exit.
Yeah, there are still quite a few levels that are like that. It's just I feel like they're mostly backloaded. The front half of this game is like fast levels in terms, like, they're not long, they're like mostly about killing guys. That just sort of makes up the biggest chunk of the first half, and then the latter half is more like big, sprawling, confusing levels. Nothing ever quite as bad as the end of Doom 1. I mean, like, Episode 3, but... There's still some weirdness in there.
This looks like a Mario Kart level. Mario Kart 64 level. It looks like that, like, I don't know, that, like... I think it's called, like, Triple Decker or something. It's like the triple layer complex. I can't remember the name, but it's got a feel like this, where you like move up some elevation, but then it's like a whole other square-shaped arena, and then you can like jump into other levels of the arena, but you have to go towards the center or something.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It was like one of those. It was like a battle map. It wasn't like a regular...
Yeah, it was a battle map. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that map. It's the first notable
like
Sandy Peterson map. Tricks and Traps. This is... I think I would also call this a classic level from Doom 2. Very memorable. Very weird. This is like... abstracting Doom down to like its core levels. I don't know how to put it more simply than that, but like it's hard to define, but it's just it shares that sort of John Romero sensibility of totally abstract level design, in that it doesn't feel like any sort of logical real space, but it's a Sandy Petersen map, and so it also incorporates that sort of like nonsensical Cthulhu-y like madness aspect to it. It's just a weird map, and it's just like, I don't know, emblematic of Doom's weirdness, I think, in a really good way. For the most part. There's some things about this map that's kind of suck. But, you know, not everything's a winner. Also, this pisses me off. So right here, you see this big chunk of cells. I don't pick it up because my cells are almost full and I don't want to waste the excess ammo. And then guess what? I forgot to go back for it later.
Uh-oh.
I know. Made me upset when I watched this footage back and I realized that I did not go back for it.
Oh my god. There we go.
The Super Shotgun makes dealing with Barons a lot easier, generally speaking. Also, I do this level kind of out of order from how I usually do it. There's a BFG on this level, and I usually get that first before I do this room because it makes this room a lot easier. And for some reason, I just didn't. I just didn't get the BFG first. Which means that dealing with these Barons is actually kind of annoying. I don't even know how those guys got in there, also. I don't know if there's a teleporter line def in the room that leads them into that other room, or I don't know what the hell is going on.
It's a lot of Barons going on. How many Barons does hell have? I mean, come on, let's get real.
It's a good question, and also a good point. Doom 2 has, I'm gonna say, I don't have the exact numbers on me, but the difficulty difference between Hurt Me Plenty and Ultraviolence, between Doom 1 to Doom 2, Doom 2 Ultraviolence is like such a massive step up comparatively. There's like, so there's a level coming up called Refueling Base. It's actually the last level of this video. It's a Tom Hall level originally that was finished by Sandy Petersen. That level has like, I'm gonna say 30 to 40 enemies on it on Hurt Me Plenty, and it has like 150 enemies on Ultraviolence. Yeah, and I think this is also a level that has like a massive step up in terms of enemy quantity. It's really interesting, the difficulty curve of this game compared to Doom 1. Doom 1, I feel like, is a game more tightly balanced around Ultraviolence as sort of the intended play experience, and Doom 2, I don't even know how to classify it. I feel like Hurt Me Plenty is too easy, and Ultraviolence at times is bizarrely too difficult. And personally speaking, I would strike a balance elsewhere, although I don't think that Ultraviolence in this game is too hard. I think it's perfectly learnable. It's just, like I was bemoaning earlier, I haven't played this in a while, so like my expectations and experience, I was expecting to do a lot better than I ended up actually doing. Which, you know, is ultimately unproven. After all, expectations are the source of all suffering. So says Buddha.
I thought it was money, but maybe Buddha didn't know about money.
Money is also pretty bad, for sure.
Sorry to all you Buddhists out there.
Now, I could just leave the level now, but of course I'm not going to do that because I still got rooms that I need to explore.
Has, Jesus Christ, spit it out. Has, the creators of Doom ever tried to, like, quantify hell in their lore? Like, are there parameters are in hell, or is hell infinite?
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know about that in the sense of this game, because in the 90s the boys that did were playing a lot of D&D. I'm gonna assume that they were sort of building off of a mixture of concepts that were in you know, D&D at that point, and also just sort of like a more colloquially Christian sort of centric viewpoint. I would say that, yeah, probably hell is infinite to some degree. I don't see why it wouldn't be. I don't know that it has any boundaries necessarily. Besides, you know, the requirement that demons be evil.
They're pretty evil.
That's pretty much the only defining factor that they have.
I'd almost describe them as, like, feral animal-like, except that they, like, make decorations out of corpses.
Well, yeah. Some animals do that.
That's true. Like cats.
Yep.
So what we're saying is demons are cats. Cats are demons. Yeah. Makes so much sense. This reminds me of that level I hate from Doom 1.
Yeah, it's just this little section, though. It's not the whole...
It's not the
whole map, thankfully. What is going on with the audio? Why is it clipping like that? What's going on?
I wondered what that was.
It's very frustrating, because I don't know what causes it, because it doesn't sound like that when I record. It's something that happens when I export the video, and I don't know how to stop it. It's pissing me off, brother. Alright, here's the exit. You have to run around that section. The platforms lower as you step on them, so if you don't move fast enough, you will be trapped in the death pit and you can't get out. Which is just horrible. And I remembered that I forgot the fucking BFG. And I was like, where is this son of a bitch? And also the audio keeps fucking spiking in my ears and it's pissing me off. I really hope I can fix that. But if I can't, then I would like to apologize. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then I was like, yeah, I don't have to waste ammo, but this is gonna take forever. And then I eventually just stop. That takes me a second.
Pinky demon in the city.
Hell yeah.
Can we have the BFGs, brother?
I'm picturing, when you say Pinky in the City, I'm picturing Babe 2 Pig in the City, but with a pinky.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah, that's good.
Golden. There you go.
Did you know that George Miller directed the Babe movies? Babe 1 and Babe 2?
You know, I think I'd heard that, but I always forget that. Babe 3, Fury Road. I think Babe is Mad Max canon.
Nice.
I hope Babe
Definitely
drives around
be.
a cool car.
Yes.
With a chain gun on it.
Yeah. It has some sort of ironic name like Pork Rind.
Pork Grind.
Yes. Pork Grinder.
Pork Tinder? Tenderloin? First we're in a blender, now we're here. What?
Tell me about it. It's this map. It's the pit.
Oh shit, this is a Mortal Kombat stage.
It is. It's also a Doom level. There's also another level with just like an absurd amount of enemies in it.
Yeah, that's some weird level design where it's just like a pile of enemies that are actually kind of easily dispatched with an AoE attack.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at all these guys who can't move. Scary! And then you just, like, rocket launcher all of them into oblivion.
I also experienced that sound bug again, where I fell off something while shooting, and it, like, cut the sound out. And I don't know, it's not a bug that I'm used to experiencing in Doom, but
No.
I did it in one of the Doom 1 videos, and I did it again in this video. Which is weird, I don't know how I did it. This also features the Into Sandy's City song, which is a great Doom 2 song. When I first played Doom 2, I had a lot of complaints about the soundtrack being not as good as the soundtrack of Doom 1, but as time has gone on, I have appreciated a lot more of Doom 2's soundtrack. It's less catchy, but there's a lot of good songs in here. Doom 1 just has more, like, catchy tunes, like, easier to sing along to. This game doesn't have easy to sing along to songs, but it does have good music. Bobby Prince, go off, King.
Freddie Prinze Jr., go off, King. Freddie Prinze Jr. as Doom Guy.
You know, if they made the Doom movie in the late 90s, that could have happened.
Could have happened.
So, there's pain elementals, right? And they shoot out Lost Souls at you. These pain elementals here, they actually can't shoot out Lost Souls because there are already too many Lost Souls on the level. So they cannot spawn new ones until some of the Lost Souls that are already on the level die. Because there's a cap to spawning Lost Souls. Like, if Lost Souls are over a certain number, they can't spawn new ones from Pain Elemental.
It's weird. So what do the Pain Elementals do when they can't spawn souls?
They just float around menacingly at you. They still have, like, a bite attack if you get close to them, but...
Well, that sounds nice and exploitable.
Yeah, they still attempt to, make Lost Souls, but they just can't. You know, impotence.
Dry heaving.
Yeah.
We want
constipation,
brother. Constipation, no breathing.
I constantly save because I can never remember how stuff works, and I'm like, oh, if I jump into this pit, am I gonna die? It lowers the platform. Although, I don't know if it also has a switch on it. I don't know what happens if you fall in there and then just don't get on the platform before it raises up. Maybe it has a switch on the side. I don't know. I don't know how dickish they are about this particular death pit. I made a enlightening moment. I had an enlightening moment, I should say. I mean, my brain made it, I guess. Anyways, when I was playing this and I switched to that chainsaw there, when I was playing it, I was like, in Doom 2016 and in Doom Eternal, the chainsaw gives you ammo. And in this game, you use the chainsaw to preserve the ammo you have. And I was like, they're both tools for ammo. And it was just very profound inside my head when I realized that. I have no further point to that. That's it.
It means you've leveled up is what it means.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Now you understand the chainsaw. Now you're worthy of it. Now you can wield it.
Yeah, I always understood the chainsaw, but it was now that I realized the connection specifically. I always thought it was like a convenience thing. It was like, oh, we have the chainsaw in Doom 2016, like, they could have just made it like a free kill button, but the fact that they tied it to ammo was always interesting to me. And then when I had this epiphany about how you use it to save ammo in this game, and you use it to generate ammo in the other game, I was like, oh, like there's something there. They're saying something. I heard the message. This is what I mean when I was talking earlier about intentionality in art. Like, there was something there that I had not picked up on, and I just picked up on it, and I was like, they're communicating the same point in different ways.
We can use a virus to infect their mothership. And then you guys can, do your thing. Do your stuff. Oh, no. Okay, I thought you were dead.
Yeah, well, I was like,
Close
I'm
enough.
not gonna take that much ammo. That much damage. Lose that much ammo.
Damo and Darren.
Yeah, always take my fucking
You're always
loader.
taking me fucking loader. Do I fucking know you, mate?
I feel like Australia is very doom-coded.
Doom-coded?
Yeah.
What does that mean? I mean, I know what doom-coded is, but why is Australia doom-coded?
I don't know, it's just... I'm just picking up that vibe. You know?
It's the most Gen Z thing you could have said. I just feel like Australia has a lot of doom skibbity. It's got that Doom 2 riz.
It's got that doom riz, it really does. I think it's because, like, the wildlife is deadly and, like, they just have, like, that hardened, stereotype about them.
I was listening to some YouTuber try to break down, like, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, like, phrasing and words, and for some reason vibes came up, and I was just like,
That's a millennial thing.
honestly, vibes have been around a long time. I'd say that goes back to like the 60s or 70s.
So the word vibes definitely have a longer legacy than that, although I will say that the way in which it's used in modern parlance is slightly different. It's similar, but it's also different.
It is not exact.
Right, because, I mean, before people would say the full word, which is vibrations, which I believe is sort of like in reference to, although I am no expert on etymology, but I believe is sort of in reference to, like, people... like, radio waves suddenly became this big thing and this sort of concept that people had to sort of take in very quickly and understand very quickly. And then there's this attribution to humankind as, like, oh, like, like we understand how a radio works, where it sends out waves and then something else picks up those waves. And a wave really is just a vibration in the air when you think about it. Which is to say that, like, a vibration or a vibe is something that someone gives off and then something that you pick up on.
Yeah.
And so the consistency of that is that you're right, like, that has been consistent. But people have switched, I would say. I mean, people still use it to describe others, but definitely back in the day, it was like a way that you would describe the relationship between something. And now it's used more to describe the state of an individual something. To break it down further, maybe explain it more, like, you would say, in, like, the 90s, you would say, like, the vibes are off to indicate that a relationship was struggling. And you would still maybe use it that way now, but the intentionality would be slightly different, because you would be saying, like, the vibes between us are off versus you're putting off negative vibes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been offloaded slightly. I like the word vibes.
I don't know how I feel about the word vibes.
It's just vague enough that it can be used in many different ways, but it's also one of those, like, human relatability words where, like, you know it when you see it.
Yeah.
You know what the vibes are when you see them.
I do. He is the one.
That's why I love it so much.
See, I want to like it more, but I've been in a lot of, like, social groups where I live, where people sort of, like, live and die by, like, pop psychology or pop astrology or something, and it's just very tiresome. It's just...
Well, those people, yeah, are insufferable.
There's just a lot of pseudo-knowledge passed off as actual knowledge.
I prefer to use vibes as, like, you know, an exploration of aesthetics more than psychology. I mean,
they also say aesthetics all the time.
I will say that there's
instead of describing something as beautiful or wistful or, using any kind of adjective, this will just have aesthetics.
Well, that's the problem, is that aesthetics aren't... they aren't meant to be a descriptive... It's not meant to be a descriptive word. It's a word that's, like, synonymous with style in some ways. I mean, it has a different meaning, but, like, at least that's how I use it, right? It's like the aesthetics of something refer to sort of a visual or otherwise, again, stylistic quality to something that can sort of be hard to define, which is why I use it. But if you just use the word aesthetic and you don't elaborate on the meaning, then, like, you shouldn't be using it as, like, its own descriptive flavor, because it doesn't mean anything without
it's like telling someone you like their general vibe, and then what do they make of that? What is a general vibe?
Yeah. The context is king.
Yes.
In all these situations, and the less context that you give, the worse it is. So, like, I get your frustration, but, like, if it's used appropriately, then it's used within context, in my opinion, at least. Appropriate to my sensibilities.
Will I ever like aesthetic or vibes again?
I don't know. We need to stop hanging out with freaks.
Sometimes they're unavoidable.
I know. I also like the word freak a lot. It's
freak is a great word.
Very big in my lexicon lately, because it's just not bigoted enough to make me not feel bad for using it. Like, I know that it has been used in really negative contexts in the past, so, like, I'm aware of the power of the word. But at the same time, it has no specific, like, denotation to it. It's just a general word. So I can use it negatively in a lot of different ways. Which is why it's good. You know, like, the word idiot is too pointed, it's too insulting to someone's intelligence, there's too much negative quality associated with it. Freak also has like this wonderful pseudo positive connotation to it, you know? I mean, Missy Elliott says get your freak on. We understand sometimes it's good to be freaky.
She does not say get your aesthetic on.
No,
that would suck, Beavis.
Yes. Get your vibes on.
See, I feel like someone has said that, and I don't like that because it's like, what does that mean? But I know what get your freak on means, and freak means multiple things. It's wonderful.
I think this is just because we're so 90s pilled.
Wait, so if I'm 90s pilled, that means I don't like vibes and I don't like aesthetic? Is that what that means?
Right, because those are like, 2010s pilled words.
Oh, okay.
It's a generational thing.
Man, that sucks.
That's just what I'm not saying that you can't use those words. It's just, like, in order to get out of that headspace, you have to, like, un-90s pill yourself.
Yeah. I wish I weren't 90s pilled. I'm so tired of doing these videos with you. I'm like, this is a GoldenEye level. And I'm like, wow, make another reference, please. I hate that everything I play now, if it's a first-person shooter, is bounced off of what I played as a child in the 90s. It's so frustrating. Do you really need anybody else? Sometimes I just kick the living shit out of me.
That is a 90s as hell. That's a 90s pilled song.
That is a 90s pilled song. Living Dead Girl.
The 90s was all about, like relationship troubles. That's sort of an overgeneralization, but it's just true. And it was like vaguely misogynistic. It was like really wanting to call a woman a bitch without feeling like you were attacking them for being a woman, but you still really wanted to say it.
And you could call your gay friends bad names because they were your friends, so it's fine.
Well, nobody was gay in the 90s is the thing.
They weren't? I know they definitely weren't bi. But I thought that
gay people.
I thought at least 1 in 10 people on a TV show were gay.
No. See, that's the thing, is that there were a lot of gay people in the 90s. There were gay people on TV in the 90s, but it was like really select. Listen, friends can call Chandler's father gay or whatever all they want, but that character may as well not even be real.
Yeah. See, I fear being 90s pilled because I'm constantly reminded how often the 90s actually kind of suck.
The 90s were not a great time, as a matter of fact.
They really weren't.
They weren't the worst of times, but they weren't the best of times.
Charles Dickens was a 90s kid.
Yeah. See, that's the thing that everyone has to constantly relearn this lesson, and it's very interesting to me. I mean, it's a personal thing, so I get it. But, like, no era was good or bad. It's just that you have fond memories of them because you were a kid, and so you had less responsibilities, you had, like, more wonder and discovery about the world, so like things were able to make an impact on you in a more meaningful way that, goes away as you grow up, and so it makes you bitter because you think the world is, worse or something, but it's honestly not that much different. I mean, obviously in some instances, progress has been made, and that's a good thing. But in terms of like quality of life or potential quality of life, like things are in roughly the same shape that they were 40 or 50 years ago, which is good and bad. At least things aren't significantly worse. It'd be nice if they were better, though. But, like, it's the same reason why people get mad at boomers, because, you know, they're, like, 70s pilled. And people are like, get out of here, old man.
We're doomed.
Yeah. That's fine.
Which is why we play Doom. Oh!
The animals are leaving. The aliens aren't visiting us.
My boomer.wad.
But do you really need anyone else?
You know, when I lived in a dorm, there were these two guys who would always come to the lobby, into the lounge of the dorm, and they would play Rock Band. They'd bring like a projector out and play Rock Band on it. But they were just constantly playing that exact 30 Seconds to Mars song. So I like never wanted to play with them because I'd get dragged into their just awful music taste. Sorry, those people who like 30 Seconds to Mars. Oh wait, I don't have to apologize for like my opinions on subjective things.
You don't have to apologize for your opinions, especially when you're right.
30 seconds to my ass.
Jared Leto's a freak anyways.
Yeah, Jared Leto sucks.
Yeah. You don't have to apologize.
Sorry, Jared Leto.
Yeah, I know you're listening.
I know he's definitely listening.
Big Doom fan.
This is gonna get like algorithmically tagged as 30 Seconds to Mars because we mentioned it once. And then he'll be like, oh, someone's talking about me. I love that. And then I'll click on it.
I do like, you know, that era. I was never a big 30 Seconds to Mars fan, but listen, I'm not a fan necessarily of any of the bands of that era, but there were definitely songs of that era that have unfortunately stood the test of time. AFI's Miss Murder has stood the test of time. Is it a good song? Arguable. Has it stood the test of time? Yes.
It has? What do you mean?
Sometimes it comes on and you're like, yeah,
oh, okay.
I remember that song.
I have not heard that song since like 2005.
It's, you know, it's still that song.
Alright.
It's not great, don't get me wrong. I'm not an emo head, but like...
I mean, I feel like Black Parade still holds the test of time.
Yeah, I have to give you that one. I'm not a big My Chemical Romance fan. But you're right, that song is like, for better or worse, a cultural touchstone. Evanescence, Bring Me to Life.
Also a song
that's
that
a little
I didn't
bit
want. Yeah, it's a song I don't want to stand the test of time, but it has. It's been memed to bejesus and back. It's gonna. It's like
Daredevil.
It's like the millennial Rickroll, where
That's
it's like
true.
memed, but now it's like lovingly memed instead of just memed.
That's so true. It's so funny because like Rickrolling was the thing. Rickrolling is very millennial, but Evanescence, Bring Me to Life was like, from an internet perspective, it was like a generation later, but it's the same people that were Rickrolling that pushed that song back to life, no pun intended. That's interesting to think about culturally.
Every song you've released on SoundCloud, you just needed to turn it into a meme, and then turned into like a super meme, and then you're good to go. You'll be in the public consciousness forever.
It's kind of true.
We could do that with these videos. I feel like I'm turning into a Tim and Eric sketch where they like release a DVD, but on the DVD is only advertisements for their other DVDs. It's DV. Merry Crimbus.
I mean, that is sort of the point to anything. from a certain perspective, it's like I am only releasing this because I want people to watch it, but at the same time, I'm not willing to like compromise a certain perspective that would get me like more of an audience. So it's like
a Marvel Studios movie.
Do you really need anyone else? Yeah, exactly.
Do you really need to watch any other movies besides Marvel movies?
Not really. I watched Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
I like how this has nothing to do with the video.
I'm
and this
so
is gonna
excited
age.
to talk to you about this.
This is gonna age the video even worse. I like talking about stuff that's relatively timeless, but anyways, yeah, I've been playing a lot of Cine 2 Nerdle, right? That movie game.
Yeah.
And somebody fucking spoiled that Wesley Snipes was in the movie for me before I got to see it.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn it. And then I saw a clip of Channing Tatum in that movie, and I was like, damn it.
Right.
And so then I watched the movie, and I was like, it was pretty whatever, it was fine. But I was like, man, this movie would be a lot better with, like, those moments intact.
Oh, yeah. I did the same thing, except I did it intentionally. I was just like, I just gotta know. And then I watched it, like, I read about, like, 30 minutes, more like a day before going to see it. And I'm like, damn, I should have done this.
No, because the movie has nothing. The movie is nothing.
I think I was mostly just looking,
reveals.
like, just because I was like, am I... Like, if they aren't in it, I don't want to anticipate it the whole time and then be disappointed when like, they're not there.
Listen, I had no anticipation or expectations because I am so far removed from the circles that talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But having that spoiled for me definitely ruined the experience. But it would not have overall changed my opinion of the movie because I am built different and I can, remove my expectations from what I actually think.
Yeah.
Which is that the movie is mid as hell.
It's very mid. I thought the same thing. I remember going and having a decent time, but every time Deadpool said something meta about Marvel Studios, I'm like, this is just weird. It made more sense when he was under the Fox umbrella, because he could just take the piss out of Marvel Studios. But now that he's doing it, he just feels like a Marvel Studios apologist.
Yeah. There's definitely that element of it, which is...
And people kept talking about how, like, this is Hugh Jackman's, like, best performance as Wolverine. I'm like, he doesn't do anything in this movie.
He doesn't do anything, yeah, exactly. His best performance as Wolverine, you mean that he cries?
Right. He does that
Wolverine
a lot
really
in other
known
movies
for
where it matters.
I mean, I guess it's true.
Yeah, it's a very mid movie. It's just fine.
It's
someone on Letterboxd described it as Black Panther for millennials.
I don't know about that. I understand what that person's saying. I just don't know if I agree with the phraseology.
I mean, yeah, it's weird phraseology, but I feel like I interpret that as criticism because it's just like it does feel very. It's because it's got like Fantastic Four references and Daredevil references, and it's got Blade in it, and it just has stuff in it that like people remember before Iron Man 1. And it's just like, yeah. And it's, like I said before, it's just, Deadpool has just been, like, has had character assassination by being ported over to Marvel Studios, because now he's just, like, making all the same jokes, but now they don't land the same, because, like, Marvel doesn't have to change. Like, they can joke about how they haven't been doing so well lately, but that's not going to stop them from still making total shit shows.
Yes.
Deadpool's now irrelevant. Deadpool doesn't challenge Marvel anymore. He just enables Marvel.
Yeah, no, I mean, I again, to draw the analogy, I would even... I wouldn't call it Black Panther, because the problem is that Black Panther has an audience. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that, like, this movie has an audience too, but it's... To me, it's more like the equivalent of modern Simpsons. It's like, who's this for?
Yeah.
Is this just for people that remember old
in like
Simpsons?
In like 5 years, Deadpool and Wolverine People are gonna watch it and be like, "What the fuck is this movie?" Because it's only talking about things that matter right now. People will watch it and be like, "This movie isn't about anything."
Yes. It's about a current state of events. It's about the Marvel-Fox relationship that only matters, again, in like a meta sense. It only matters to the audience of people that already know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's super inside baseball.
Yeah. I mean, I guess go ahead.
No, go on. That's fine.
I was gonna say, I mean, I guess I appreciate that Wesley Snipes is here. Whenever he does Blade stuff, he's still killing it. But I'm like, God damn it. Why did his first word in this movie have to be the R word?
Yes, that's weird.
And also, I don't like, I mean, I appreciate they tried to get the motherfuckers line in there, but it was so shoehorned in. I'm just like,
shoehorned in,
yes.
Well, that's the problem, is that nobody gets to do anything in that movie.
Yeah.
Because it's not a movie where things happen.
Right, it's not a movie about, like, it's not a movie that's a movie. The movie is just like a long, like, Reddit rant.
Sort of,
in wish fulfillment.
Yeah, exactly. The movie is desiring to have stuff happen. It's the sensibilities of being a 12-year-old and smashing your action figures together, but it has... Or an 8-year-old, really.
I was gonna say, it's more like being a millennial and smashing your old figures together, hoping for the same magic, and then nothing happens.
Exactly. Like, it's not about the plot, it's about the exercise of, like, getting this stuff out of your system.
Yeah.
And it's, like, not interesting as a movie because of that.
Yeah. I like the NSYNC opening credits. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was good. Well, the movie has good things in it.
Yeah, it's just not a very good movie.
It's just not a good movie.
It's just not a good movie. It's a movie full of silly sketches, but it's just not really a movie.
Anyways, that's Doom 2.
That's Doom 2. Part of it.
See you in the next video.
Doom Pool and Wolverine.